Blood. There's so much blood. I'm alone in the office. Past midnight. Everyone's gone home. And I'm losing my baby. The baby, the cold CEO, Alpha doesn't even know exists. 3, 2, 1. Let me tell you how I got here. My name is Julian Parker. 7 months ago, I made a choice that changed everything. I chose to hide my pregnancy from the most powerful man in New York, Alexander Kane. And now he's about to discover my secret in the worst possible way. 7 months earlier, I stood outside Kane Enterprises on my first day. 50 floors of glass and steel. Everyone warned me about him. He's impossible, they said. Cold as ice. Nobody survives working for Alexander Kane, but I was broke. Desperate. I needed this job. Alexander Kane, 6'3". Designer suit? Ice blue eyes that looked right through people. He was beautiful. He was terrifying. You're late, were his first words. I'm 3 minutes early, I replied. His eyes narrowed. Then you should have been 5 minutes early. Month 1 was brutal. 18-hour days. Impossible demands. A boss who noticed every mistake but never acknowledged when I did something right. Month 2 was worse. Longer hours, harder projects, less sleep, but I was good at my job. And sometimes I caught him watching me with something that wasn't quite coldness. Then came month 3. The Tokyo deal, 72 hours straight, no sleep. Just us racing against an impossible deadline. 3 in the morning, he suddenly said, "We did it." I looked up, exhausted. We did the numbers work. He smiled, actually smiled. 3,000 jobs saved because of what we did tonight. My heart stopped. He cared. The cold CEO actually cared. You're surprised? He observed. I didn't think you cared about anything except profits. Everyone thinks that. His voice was quieter. But you're different, Julian. You see things others miss. Do you know how rare that is? The way he said my name made my breath catch. You know my name. I know everything about you. He stood, moving to the window. Julian Parker, 26 Omega, couldn't finish your MBA because of money. Sending every dollar to your mother, you investigated me. I investigate everyone who works this closely with me. He turned, eyes burning. But you're different. That's valuable. The air crackled with electricity. Mr. Kane. I started Alexander. When we're alone, call me Alexander. That's not appropriate. He stepped closer. Neither is what I want to do right now. My pulse raced. What do you want to do? His hand cupped my face. Gentle, almost reverent. And then he kissed me. The world exploded. When he pulled back, we were both shaking. This is wrong, I whispered. I know. He didn't let go. I don't care. You're my boss. I know. His thumb traced my bottom lip. But I need you, Julian. That was my first mistake. Believing him, the next 6 weeks were perfect. Secret meetings. Stolen kisses. Nights at his penthouse where the cold CEO disappeared and I got Alexander. Just Alexander, I'm falling for you. He told me one night watching the sunrise. I love you, I whispered back. You're mine. His arms tightened. My Omega. My everything. And then came my heat cycle. I felt it starting during a board meeting. I need to leave. I told Alexander quietly. It's starting. His eyes darkened. My place tonight. Let me take care of you. That night changed everything. He was everything I needed. Gentle when I needed gentle. Passionate when I needed passion. Completely present. And when he marked me, when I felt his teeth find my neck, when that bond snapped into place, I knew something fundamental had changed. We were bonded mates, forever connected. I fell asleep in his arms, dreaming of our future. I woke up to a nightmare. Alexander was already dressed. Already the CEO again. Already distant. Last night was a mistake. I sat up, confused. What? We crossed a line. His voice was flat. You're my employee. This can't happen again. But you bonded with me. I was caught in biology, heat, and rut. That's all it was. He looked at me with ice-cold eyes. It meant nothing. Julian. Each word was a knife. You're lying. Believe what you want. He turned to his computer. This conversation is over. We're going back to professional only. Understood. I got dressed in silence. Made it home before I broke. Then I cried for 3 days straight. 2 weeks later, I stared at 2 pink lines on a pregnancy test. Pregnant? For one moment, I let myself imagine telling him, his face lighting up, hands on my stomach. We're having a baby. But then I remembered. It meant nothing. Julian, no. He wouldn't want this baby, so I decided. I would keep my baby and hide it from Alexander. Month 4. Baggy clothes. Lunch appointments at the doctor. Alexander never noticed. Month 5. My belly showing. Even baggier clothes. Alexander remained oblivious. Month 6. I started planning to leave Portland apartment. New job. 2 more weeks, but I didn't make it. Month 7. Week 1. Late night. Past midnight. Finishing a report, the first pain hit without warning. I gasped. Then the second one, stronger. And then I felt it. Wetness? Warmth? Blood? No, my baby. I tried to stand. The room spun. I stumbled. I took one step toward the door. My legs gave out. The floor rushed up. Pain exploded. Everything went dark. The last thing I heard was footsteps running and a voice. His voice terrified. Julian. Alexander. He'd found me. Found us. Found my secret, and nothing would ever be the same. Part 2. Beeping steady. Rhythmic mechanical. Hospital. My eyes flew open. My hands went to my stomach. Please let my baby be okay. The baby? I gasped. Where's my baby? A nurse appeared. You're awake. Try to stay calm. My baby. Is my baby okay? Your baby is fine. She smiled. Both of you are stable. Stress-induced contractions and bleeding. But we stopped it. Baby's heartbeat is strong. Relief hit me so hard I started sobbing. You were lucky. She checked my your boss got you here fast. Carried you in his arms. Refused to leave until doctors confirmed you'd be okay. He's been in the waiting room for 8 hours. My relief turned to dread. He knows about the pregnancy. Yes, hard to hide at 7 months. She looked sympathetic. He's insistent about seeing you. I can't. Please don't. Too late, the door opened. Alexander stood there. His suit was wrinkled, stained with my blood, hair disheveled. Tie gone. Eyes red and swollen. Julian, he breathed. The nurse slipped out. Silence. You're pregnant, he finally said, voice rough. I turned away. You should leave. Leave. He moved closer. I've been out there 8 hours thinking I might lose you. Lose our child. You don't get to tell me to leave. It's not your concern. Not my concern. His voice cracked. You're carrying my baby and didn't tell me. How long were you hiding this? Forever. I was leaving in 2 weeks. You would never have known. Why? The anguish in that word broke something in me. Why would you do that? Because you made it clear you wanted nothing to do with me. I looked at him, tears streaming. You said it meant nothing. Just biology. What was I supposed to think? I never said I wouldn't want our child. You said I meant nothing. The morning after we bonded, you destroyed me. Why would I tell you about a baby you wouldn't want? I thought I was protecting you. He collapsed into the chair. From my world? From people who would have torn you apart so you pushed me away. I thought if I cut it off clean, you'd be safe. From board members who would destroy your reputation. From competitors who would use you against me. He looked up, crying. But I was an idiot. I hurt you trying to save you, and I almost lost everything. I'd never seen Alexander Kane cry. But he was sobbing now when I found you on that floor. He said through tears when I saw the blood. I thought I'd lost you both before I could tell you the truth. What truth? That I never stopped loving you. Every day for 5 months has been agony. Watching you pull away, wanting to fix what I broke but not knowing how. He reached out hesitantly. May I? I nodded. His palm settled on my stomach, trembling. How far along? 7 months. 7 months. His voice broke. I've missed 7 months. Half your pregnancy, everything. I didn't want your pity. Pity. He laughed bitterly. Julian, I've been in love with you since the Tokyo deal. Since you looked at me like I was worth something, I've loved you desperately every single day. Then why did you say those things? Because I'm a coward. He met my eyes. Because I was terrified of how much I felt. Because I've never been good at vulnerability. Because my father taught me emotion was weakness. Our baby kicked then strong against his hand. Alexander gasped. Was that? That's your baby? Saying hello, he leaned down, forehead pressed to my stomach. Tears falling. Tie, baby, he whispered. I'm your papa. I'm sorry I wasn't there. But I'm here now. I promise. I was crying too. I never stopped loving you either, I admitted. Even when I was hurt. Even when I was angry. Then, don't stop, please. He looked up. Let me fix this. Let me be here for you both. The doctor came in before I could answer. The baby's perfect, she announced. Strong heartbeat, good positioning. But Julian needs complete rest. No stress. This was a warning. She looked at Alexander. Make sure he takes it easy. I will, Alexander said immediately. Whatever it takes. After she left, Alexander took my hand. You're moving in with me. Alexander, not negotiable. You almost lost our baby from stress and working too hard alone. That ends now. He squeezed my hand. You're coming home. I'm hiring the best care team. You're on immediate leave with full pay. The gossip I don't care? His voice was fierce. Let them talk. Let everyone know you're mine. I'm done hiding. I want the world to know you're the most important person in my life. You really mean that? Every word? He kissed my hand. I love you, Julian Parker, and I'm going to prove it every day for the rest of our lives. For the first time in months, I felt hope. Maybe we could do this. Maybe love was enough. Maybe we had a chance. But I didn't know the real test was still coming. Part 3. The penthouse looked different, softer, warmer, like home. When did you do this? I asked. One guest room was now a nursery. Gray walls, white crib, shelves full of books. Last week, Alexander stood behind me. I kept hoping I'd find a way to bring you back. I wanted to be ready. You didn't know about the baby. No, but I knew I wanted a future with you. Whatever that looked like, those first 2 weeks changed everything. Alexander worked from home, brought me breakfast in bed, read pregnancy books with highlighter and sticky notes, asked constant questions about how I felt at night. He'd lie beside me talking to our baby. Your daddy is incredible, he'd whisper, strong and brave. So much better than me. You're going to be a great father, I told him. I'm going to try. He kissed my forehead. My father was cold, distant. I won't be him. You're already nothing like him. But rebuilding trust took time. Sometimes the old Alexander slipped through. One morning, I heard him snap at someone on the phone, his tone cold and cutting. Then he saw me in the doorway. I'm sorry. He immediately softened. Old habits. I'm working on it. I know you are. It's hard, he admitted, being different. But for you, for our baby, I'll keep trying. That vulnerability meant everything one morning. I heard him on a call. Cancel it. I don't care about the Singapore deal. My priorities changed. I appeared in his doorway. You're canceling deals. He looked up. For us. For our family? Singapore means 2 weeks away. I'm not leaving when you're 7 months pregnant, but that's millions and you're worth more than any deal. He ended the call. I'm not the same man I was. You changed me. Your board won't like this. Some of them already don't. He frowned slightly. I've seen the looks. Heard whispers. They think my relationship with you is affecting my judgment. Is it? Yes, he smiled. For the better. But they don't see it that way. That worried me. But I pushed it aside at 7 months. We went for an ultrasound together, ready to see your baby. The technician asked. Alexander gripped my hand. The image appeared. Our baby, moving. Perfect, the technician said. Want to know the gender? We looked at each other. Yes, I said. We want to know it's a boy. A healthy baby boy. Alexander's grip tightened. A son. That night, wrapped in his arms, he said something that made my heart stop. Marry me. I pulled back. What? Marry me? Julian? Not because you're pregnant, not because it's expected, but because I love you and want to choose you every single day, because I want our son to see his parents choosing each other. Alexander, no, I don't deserve you. He slid off the bed, kneeling, pulling out a box, but I'm asking anyway. Inside was a simple platinum band. No diamonds, he explained. You said they're overrated. Just this. A promise. Yes. I was crying. Yes. I'll marry you. He slipped the ring on and kissed me like I was his entire world. We married 2 weeks later, small ceremony, just us and witnesses. I wore a dress that fit my 8-month belly. Alexander couldn't stop smiling. His vows made me cry. I promised to love you, to never push you away again, to be worthy of you, to be the father our son deserves. All of me. For all of you forever. At 38 weeks, my water broke at 3 a.m. Alexander, I shook him. It's time. He was instantly awake. Hospital bag. By the door? Let's go meet our son. Labor was 14 hours. Exhausting, painful, but Alexander never left. Held my hand through every contraction. Coached my breathing. You're so strong, he kept saying. You can do this. At 5 p.m. after one final push. A cry filled the room. Small, furious, perfect. The doctor placed him on my chest. Tiny fingers. Dark hair. Those eyes. Alexander's eyes looking up at me. Hi, baby, I whispered through tears. We're your dads. Alexander was sobbing openly. He's perfect, he breathed. You're both perfect. Our son opened his eyes and looked right at Alexander. Something in Alexander's face just melted completely. Hi, Sebastian, he whispered. I'm your papa. I love you so much. We'd chosen the name together. Sebastian Alexander Parker Kane that night. With Sebastian sleeping between us, I thought about how far we'd come. I love you, I told Alexander. I love you more. He pulled us both close. My whole world. This was real. This was forever.org, so I believed. If you're enjoying this story, subscribe for more. Part 4. Sebastian was 3 months old when I noticed the change. Alexander came home tense, distracted, like something was bothering him. What's wrong? I asked. Nothing. Work stuff. He kissed my forehead. Don't worry about it, but I did worry. A week later, his assistant came to the penthouse. She looked nervous. I think you should know, she said quietly. There's talk at the office. Some board members are planning something. Planning what? Alexander demanded a vote. To remove you as CEO. My blood ran cold. On what grounds? Alexander asked. Compromised judgment. Conflict of interest. She looked at me apologetically. They're saying your relationship with Julian affects your business decisions, that you're not the same ruthless CEO they hired. I never even worked for the company after we got together, I pointed out. I left before we were public. They don't care about facts. She twisted her hands. They want you gone, Mr. Kane, and they're using your family as the excuse. After she left, silence filled the room. This is my fault, I said quietly. Don't, Alexander cut me off. Don't blame yourself, but it is. If you hadn't what? Loved me, given me a family, made me a better person. His voice was fierce. I don't regret a single choice, Julian, but your company's just a company. He pulled me close. You and Sebastian are my life. If I have to choose, I choose you. Every single time the vote happened the next week, emergency board meeting, 20 members, 12 voted against Alexander. He came home that evening looking shattered. They did it, he said quietly. I'm out. I felt like I'd been punched. Oh, Alexander, it's okay. He tried to smile. We'll be fine. But I saw the pain. Kane Enterprises was his legacy, his life's work, and they'd taken it because of me. Over the next month, I watched him struggle. He tried to hide it, pretended everything was fine, started interviewing for positions at other companies, but I saw how it hurt him, saw how he'd walk past his old building and his steps would slow, how former colleagues stopped returning calls. One night, Sebastian was crying from teething pain. I've got him, Alexander said, scooping up our son. Go rest. I watched from the doorway as he walked Sebastian around the nursery, singing softly. Papa's got you, he murmured. Always, do you regret it? I asked all of this. He looked at Sebastian, then at me. Before you, I had money and an empty penthouse. Colleagues, but no friends. Success, but no joy. Now I have a husband who loves me, a son who lights up when I enter the room, a reason to wake up beyond work. But you lost everything. I lost a company. He came to me. I gained a family. That's not a loss, Julian. That's the best trade I ever made. That's when I made a decision. If they took his company because of me, I'd get it back for him. I spent 2 weeks researching, making calls, gathering evidence because I'd been his assistant for 3 months before everything happened. I knew things. About board members, about questionable deals, about corners they'd cut. I called an emergency shareholder meeting. Using the shares Alexander had given me when we married, he was furious when he found out. This is my fight. He said no. I met his eyes. This is our fight. They attacked our family. I'm protecting our family. Julian, trust me, please. I walked into that boardroom not as an assistant, but as Alexander Kane's husband, parent of his child, shareholder with voting rights. Gentlemen, I said calmly, let's discuss your vote. For an hour, I presented evidence, documented their compromised deals, their violations, their misappropriated funds. Then I made my offer. Reinstate Alexander as CEO. Or this goes to the authorities and the press. Your choice. The room went silent. One by one, they voted. Unanimous. Alexander was reinstated. When I got home, Alexander was waiting with Sebastian. You didn't have to do that, he said. Yes, I did. I set down my briefcase. You stood up for us. I can stand up for you. He kissed me hard, grateful, full of love. We're a team, I whispered. Always have been, he replied. Always will be. Part 5. Alexander returned to Kane Enterprises the next week, but everything was different now. He worked normal hours, came home for dinner every night, never missed Sebastian's bedtime. I'm not making old mistakes, he told me. Work is important, but you and Sebastian are everything. This was our life now, messy, perfect hours. Sebastian grew fast, started crawling at 6 months, pulling himself up at 8, and then, at 10 months, he said his first word. We were sitting on the floor playing with blocks. Alexander had just gotten home from work. Sebastian looked up at him, face lighting up. Papa Alexander froze. Did he just? Sebastian crawled toward him, arms outstretched. Papa. I watched Alexander's face transform. Pure joy, complete love, absolute wonder. He scooped Sebastian up, tears streaming down his face. Hi, baby boy, he whispered. Yes, I'm your papa. I'm your papa. I'd never seen a man cry from pure happiness until that moment. When Sebastian turned 1, Alexander came home early with a folder. I have an idea, he said. I want to start something. A foundation for what? For Omega rights? Better workplace protections. Parental leave policies? He opened the folder, showing me plans. I want Sebastian growing up in a world where what happened to you never happens to anyone else. My throat tightened. You'd really do this? I should have done it years ago. He looked at me. And I want you to run it. Use your experience, your intelligence, make real change. I looked at the plans, at this man who'd started so cold and become so warm. Okay, I said, let's do it. The Parker Kane Foundation launched 6 months later. We fought for better laws, mandatory paid parental leave for Omegas, protection from workplace harassment, equal opportunities, and slowly things started changing. 2 years after Sebastian's birth, we sat in his room watching him sleep. Do you ever think about how we started? I asked all the time. Alexander pulled me close. That scared assistant and cold CEO, almost losing you, almost losing everything. And I'm grateful, even for the hard parts, because they led us here. Sebastian stirred in his sleep, making soft sounds. He'll have a different life than we did, Alexander said. He'll grow up knowing he's loved, wanted, that his parents choose each other every day. He's lucky to have you as a father. He's lucky to have both of us. We sat in comfortable silence, watching our son dream. Last month, Sebastian started preschool. How was it? I asked when we picked him up. Fun, he showed us his drawing. I told everyone about my dad's. Alexander and I exchanged looks, both of us thinking the same thing. Our son was proud of us, proud of his family. That night, after Sebastian was asleep, Alexander pulled me onto the balcony overlooking the city. I've been thinking, he said, about how far we've come, how much has changed. He turned to face me. Do you remember when you were hiding your pregnancy, planning to disappear? Every day. I almost lost you. His hand cupped my face. I almost lost both of you because I was too scared to be vulnerable. But you learned. I'm still learning, he smiled. Every day, you and Sebastian teach me how to be better, how to love openly, how to choose family over fear. I leaned into his touch. I was so scared back then, thought I had to do everything alone. You never have to be alone again. He kissed my forehead. We're in this together, always. I looked out at the city, at the life we'd built, the foundation helping thousands of Omegas, our son sleeping peacefully inside. This man who'd transformed himself for love. My name is Julian Parker Kane. I hid my pregnancy from a cold CEO Alpha because I thought he didn't want me. I was wrong. He wanted me more than anything. He just didn't know how to show it. Now he shows me every day, in 1,000 ways, and we're building something beautiful. Not just a family, but a future? For Sebastian, for Omegas everywhere, for everyone who deserves better. This is our story. Our messy, complicated, perfect story. And it's only just beginning. Thanks for listening. If this story touched you, hit subscribe for more emotional BL stories. Drop a comment and tell me what you thought. See you next time.